Today, we dive into the chilling history of Alcatraz Island, a place that has witnessed the rise and fall of some of America's most notorious criminals. But this is no ordinary historical tour. It's a journey into the paranormal, where the lines between the living and the dead blur. Welcome to another episode of Haunted History. Today, we embark on a journey to the notorious Alcatraz Island, a place steeped in the echoes of its dark past. From its origins as a military fortress in the 1850s to its transformation into a maximum security federal prison during the 1930s, Alcatraz has seen the rise and fall of America's most notorious criminals. In the 1850s, Alcatraz Island underwent a significant transformation, evolving into Fort Alcatraz, a military stronghold strategically positioned to safeguard the shores of San Francisco Bay. During the Civil War, this formidable fortress took on a new role as a holding facility for captured Confederates. The grim conditions faced by the approximately 50 soldiers and sympathizers confined in the basement of the guardhouse were marked by deprivation and hardship, leading to the unfortunate demise of many. Living without essential amenities such as heat, running water, and proper sanitation, the prisoners endured meager rations, were tethered together with 6-foot chains, and crowded into a confined space with a cold, unyielding stone floor. Post-Civil War, before Alcatraz prison was established, Alcatraz continued its role as a place of confinement. It served as a holding facility for captives from the Spanish-American War and housed rebellious Native Americans. People have reported seeing apparitions of men in military uniforms and have heard mysterious cannon and gunfire, so the ghosts of these prisoners may still be on the island. In 1934, Fort Alcatraz was converted into a federal penitentiary designed to cage the nation's most dangerous criminals. The strict discipline and high security measures turned Alcatraz into a living nightmare for its inmates, with escape attempts becoming the stuff of legend. Due to the high operating costs and the deteriorating condition of the facilities, Alcatraz Federal Penitentiary was closed on March 21, 1963. While Alcatraz is often associated with notorious inmates, it housed a diverse population of individuals convicted of various crimes. The harsh conditions and strict disciplinary measures contributed to the prison's reputation as an exceptionally challenging and secure institution. Al Capone, the infamous Chicago gangster, served time at Alcatraz for tax evasion from 1934 to 1939. While at the prison, he was known for keeping a banjo his wife had given him, and guards believed it was the only thing keeping him sane. He was transferred to a prison in Los Angeles in 1939 and died several years later at his Florida estate, but both Alcatraz visitors and security guards have claimed to hear banjo music in several parts of the prison. Robert Stroud, the Birdman of Alcatraz, gained fame as the Birdman of Alcatraz, but did not actually keep birds at the prison. Stroud was convicted of murder and spent most of his life in and out of prison. In 1959, he was transferred off the island and to the medical center for federal prisoners, where he died. Several people claimed to see his ghost wandering the hospital area, as well as voices, screams, and other apparitions. George "Machine Gun" Kelly, a notorious gangster and kidnapper, was sent to Alcatraz in 1934. His reputation for violent crimes earned him a spot in the infamous federal penitentiary. Arthur "Doc" Barker, son of the notorious criminal Ma Barker, Arthur Barker was involved in various criminal activities, including bank robbery and kidnapping. He was killed while trying to escape the island by a makeshift boat and was shot in the head by a guard. The Anglin brothers and Frank Morris. Although not initially famous, their escape in 1962 became legendary, and their fates remains unknown to this day. Over 3 decades, the infamous prison known as The Rock housed more than 1,500 inmates, including some of the most notorious and dangerous men in America. In that span, 36 inmates tried to escape in 14 separate daring breakout attempts. Most escape attempts proved unsuccessful, and harsh conditions of the surrounding waters, strong currents, and cold temperatures made escape extremely challenging. The most notorious and violent escape attempt in Alcatraz's history occurred in 1946. 6 inmates, Bernard Coy, Joseph Kretzer, Marvin Hubbard, Clarence Carnes, Sam Shockley, and Miron Thompson, overpowered several guards and gained access to weapons. The inmates' plan involved taking hostages and gaining control of the cell house. Over 2 days, the violent confrontation known as the Battle of Alcatraz unfolded. In the end, 2 correctional officers, William A. Miller and Harold Stites, were killed and the attempt failed. The surviving inmates were tried for their roles in the escape attempt, with some receiving the death penalty and others facing life sentences. One of the most famous escape attempts from Alcatraz was depicted in the 1979 film, Escape from Alcatraz, starring Clint Eastwood. In this attempt, 3 inmates, Frank Morris and brothers Clarence and John Anglin, meticulously planned their escape over several months. Using improvised tools, the inmates chiseled away the vent openings at the back of their cells, climbed through utility corridors, and accessed the roof. From there, they constructed makeshift rafts using raincoats and attempted to cross the treacherous waters of San Francisco Bay. Despite an extensive manhunt, no conclusive evidence was ever found regarding their fate, and the escape remains one of the greatest mysteries in the history of Alcatraz. The exact number of deaths at Alcatraz Island during its time as a federal penitentiary is difficult to determine precisely, as some deaths occurred due to natural causes, illnesses, and accidents. However, there were notable instances of violence, suicides, and executions during the prison's operation. There were sporadic violent incidents involving inmates, including stabbings and physical altercations. These deaths could contribute to the stained past of this prison and the hauntings that occur there. Before Alcatraz became a prison, visitors to the island sensed an ominous atmosphere. Early explorers described the tiny island as heavy and depressing. The Ohlone Native American tribe considered it a gathering spot for evil spirits, leading to the belief that indigenous Americans who violated tribal laws were sent there as a form of punishment. Known as Broadway, the passage between B and C blocks, where most Alcatraz prisoners were housed, has earned a reputation for eerie occurrences. Night watchmen have reported phantom sounds of running on upper levels, while visitors recount hearing voices, moans, and sobs, often accompanied by unexplained cold spots and mysterious odors. Alcatraz had a hospital ward and laundry room that is said to be haunted by the spirits of those who suffered and died within its walls. Visitors have reported strange noises, apparitions, and the sensation of being watched. Even prisoners claim to witness ghostly events, including floating lights, whispers, and slamming doors that persisted after closure. Apparitions, such as a group of marching Native Americans, have been reported. In the dark confines of the Oriental cell located in D Block, prisoners faced unique isolation, left with nothing but a floor hole for relief. In the 1940s, an inmate's screams were dismissed as mere discontent by guards, only to discover him lifeless the next morning. Autopsy results revealed strangulation, sparking speculation about the perpetrator, whether human or perhaps the ghost of Rufus McCain, a former inmate of that cell. Visitors entering the chilling 14D space report discomfort and an eerie coldness, with some even feeling icy fingers on their necks in nearby cells like 12D. While skeptics argue that the haunting stories may be fueled by the prison's notorious reputation and the eerie atmosphere, many visitors and staff members continue to share their accounts of unexplained occurrences on Alcatraz Island. These events contribute to the complex and layered history of Alcatraz Island, making it a site of historical significance and cultural interest. Alcatraz has become a symbol of maximum security confinement and has been featured in numerous amounts of media entertainment such as the 1979 movie, Escape from Alcatraz, starring Clint Eastwood, and Mob of the Dead, a Call of Duty Zombies map based on the island. The combination of its dark history, harsh conditions, and the stories of notorious inmates has contributed to the enduring legend of Alcatraz as one of the most haunted places in the United States. The island's legacy extends beyond its time as a federal penitentiary, encompassing military use, and its present-day status as a popular tourist destination. Thank you for joining us on this spine-chilling episode of Haunted History. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated on our ghostly explorations.